Society often tells us how we should live our lives. Society tells us how we should act. It tells us what we should achieve and who we should become. So these expectations, they can feel like we're constantly carrying around the weight of the world on our shoulders. You know, they make us feel like we should fit into a mold, but what happens when we don't fit in that mold? You know, ultimately living under those societal expectations, it's going to leave us feeling lost and frustrated. We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people and we feel like we're running a race that we didn't even sign up for. And we'll ask ourselves, am I doing enough? Am I good enough? And then there's the fear that gets instilled into us, you know, the fear of being judged, the fear of being rejected, or the fear of standing out and not fitting in. And that fear is going to make us follow the crowd, even when it doesn't feel right. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. You know, the societal expectations, they're going to create an illusion. They make us feel like there's only one right way to live, but there isn't. There is no universal roadmap to happiness and success, or some sort of a guide that isn't yours. It's not going to lead to fulfillment. It's only going to lead to frustration. You know, conforming to those societal expectations in the short term, it might feel easy and it might feel comfortable in the short term, but in the long run, it will cost you your identity. You know, because when you live by somebody else's rules, you are going to lose sight of who you are. And that's why saying no to those societal expectations is why it's so powerful. It's not about rebelling just for the sake of rebelling. It's about living a life that's true to you. I believe that saying no to those societal expectations, it starts with realizing the expectations that don't serve you. You know, think about what are those rules that you feel that you are pressured to follow, or those guidelines that you feel forced to fit inside of. Are they helping you live a more meaningful or a more fulfilled life, or are they actually holding you back? And it's important because once you realize these expectations that are placed on you, that's when you're able to change them. You know, because you don't just have to expect them because they've always been there, right? When you say no, you are able to create space to say yes to yourself. You create a space to set boundaries. And I believe that setting boundaries is important because that's how you're going to protect your time, your energy, and your mental well-being. They're going to allow you the time to focus on what matters to you. And when you set boundaries at first, they're going to feel uncomfortable. They're going to, especially if you've never done it before. And that's because you're going to worry about disappointing others or upsetting somebody else that you've spent your entire life trying to please. But saying no to things that don't align with your values, that's not a selfish thing. That's actually an act of self-respect. When you prioritize yourself, you're going to be able to gain clarity on who you are and what it is that you truly want. You start to see your own unique strengths and abilities, and I know for certain that we all have something unique and something to offer. And I say that because I know that the key to living a fulfilled life is your true authenticity. Embracing your true individuality is the key to living an authentic life. You know, and living authentically, that means living a life that is true to you. It means living a life that's true to your values and not what somebody else expects of you. You know, it's not going to be easy. It is not an easy thing. The concept is extremely simple, but standing up for yourself and standing up for what you believe in, that shit takes courage. It takes a ton of courage to say no when the entire world is telling you to say yes. But every single decision that you make that honors your true self, you are going to grow. You know, reclaiming your life, it starts with small steps, and we need to take the time to figure out what truly matters to us. Because sadly, most people don't have any idea, because we've all just gone with those societal expectations and lived a life that we were told that we need to live. You know, that's the reason why most people have no idea what their purpose is. That's why That's why most people don't live a life of fulfillment. So, think about it. What kind of life do you want to live? What is it that brings you peace, joy, and fulfillment? And once you figure out the answers to those questions, that's going to be your guide to the life that you want to live. Align your choices with those questions, and even if it is going against the grain, living authentically, it will lead to challenges. I say that because most of the people that are around you, they're not going to understand the decisions that you're making. They're not going to understand the choices that you take. You're going to face pushbacks. You're going to face criticism. You're going to face challenges, but the results will be worth it. When you live your life in alignment with your values, your life is going to feel more meaningful and more fulfilled. You can stop seeking validation and stop looking for approval, and you can start living a life that's fulfilled and meaningful to you. I also believe that saying no to those societal expectations, it's a form of self-love. I say that because when you choose yourself, you are actually showing yourself that you do matter. You'll begin to accept who you are, flaws and all. You start to appreciate and accept your uniqueness instead of trying to hide it. I believe that this type of acceptance, this sort of self-acceptance it's going to be the foundation to living the life that you want to live, or living a life of fulfillment. You need to surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you to be yourself. And like I said in my video from the other day, is you don't need to put on a persona. You need to be yourself. When you start to surround yourself with those people who encourage you to be yourself, they're going to embrace your wins. They are going to celebrate your authenticity. They're not going to criticize it. They're going to remind you that you are not alone on this journey. And living authentically, that means that you are continuing to grow. I firmly believe that life it's about learning and exploring and continuing to become the best version of ourselves. You have to keep an open mind. You have to stay teachable. Understand that you do not know everything. None of us know everything. None of us have everything figured out. Being teachable and having an open mind, the reason why I feel that is so damn important is because it's going to open up the opportunities. It's going to allow you to seek opportunities that are placed in front of you every single day. Opportunities that align with your values, that are going to eventually end in living a life that you see is fulfilled. I think we all know by now, especially if you've been watching my videos for any time, growth only happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. And that doesn't mean that you have to take these huge or massive steps or risks, right out of the gate or probably ever. You don't have to constantly be taking risks. You don't have to constantly be in an uncomfortable situation, because all it actually requires is small, intentional, and consistent steps in the direction of your life that you want to go. Because that consistency, even though the steps are small, that's what's going to build the massive changes throughout your life. And each and every step that you take, it's going to bring you closer to the life that you want to live. Saying no to those societal expectations, it's a journey. It's absolutely a journey, and it's not easy, but I firmly believe that it is necessary. It's not a single decision. It's a journey to discovering who you are. It's about reclaiming your power and living a life that is true to you. I firmly believe that the freedom that comes from saying no is worth every single challenge. When you stop living for other people, when you start living for yourself, you are going to be able to unlock a whole new level of fulfillment. You are going to be level 10 final boss, because it's going to allow you to realize and truly understand that you don't have to live up to somebody else's standards to be happy or fulfilled. The only standard that actually matters is yours. And life, it's going to have the ups and downs. That's just how it is. That is life. Life is not fair. So we need to stop expecting things to be fair. We need to stop expecting life to be fair, because it's not, and it never will be for anybody. Each no that you say to those societal expectations is It is a yes that you are saying to yourself. That power, it's within you, and it starts with one decision, just one simple decision to put yourself first. Understand that this journey, it is one for you to create. So make it one that's going to make you proud. So if you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and write these words: say no. Just those two words, say no. We know that saying no is the right thing to do in the proper context. We know that those boundaries, and setting those boundaries, and showing and teaching people how to treat us instead of living up to their expectations, we know that that's the right thing to do. We know this because it's hard. We know that the things that are hard are the things that are going to be worth doing. Every time I see one of these something is on easy mode or something is in easy mode, there's nothing easy about it aside from getting people to click on it, to see that the person is full of shit. There's nothing on easy mode. Everything takes work. Everything worth doing, everything that's going to add value is going to take work. And there is nothing easy about it. There's nothing easy about life. We need to understand that, and we need to figure out how to overcome each and every one of our own individual adversities. And we need to take ownership of the situations that we are in every single day. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care where you were born. Somehow, some way, you can get ahead. I'll give it to you that some places it may be more difficult. Some circumstances and situations, it may be more difficult. But you know what? It's not impossible. Understand that what can be said can be done. And until you understand that, until you actually start to believe that, you are going to stay right where you are, and nothing will ever change. You know, learning how to ride a bike, for example, you don't forget how to do it, but you're not as good. And the longer that you go without riding that bicycle, the harder it is to remember how to do it. And the more skills you begin to lose. And the same thing goes for everyday life. The further that you get away from your childhood, where you were free to dream and you were free to believe, the harder it is, the harder it's going to become to chase those dreams and see them and realize them. So that's all I got for today, guys. I want to thank you guys for showing up. I want to thank you guys for those super thanks that you keep giving me. You truly do blow me away. It is absolutely incredible. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for showing up. I hope you guys are showing up for yourselves. And I hope that each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.